I didn't realize you decided to enter the chat as Hillary Clinton.
We're going back to the Xbox Live days, ladies and gentlemen. As go back to the Kitchen 69.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you decided to enter the chat as Hillary Clinton today. Don't get me wrong. I mean, as far as, like, misogyny goes, it's not cool. But some of those dank memes some people post gets a chuckle out of the dark side of me. For instance, I remember during the 2016 election where somebody, you remember that scene where, like, Squidward, like, just, SpongeBob's, like, going off to Squidward about, like, how Mr. Krabs is a robot and he's terrifying. He's like, that's great, SpongeBob. Now how about you tell me more of that back in the kitchen? And he, like, just picks him up and, like, yeets him through the fucking Krusty Krab window. Somebody just, like, posted, like, Hillary Clinton's face on that in, like, some meme compilation, and it's like, fuck, dude, that's... You don't want to watch that, you might cut somebody if you're swinging that edge around like that, man. You might want to just...
I'm gonna do that thing that I always do, and I have to say though, I have a feeling that the further up, like I guess the social ladder, if you're a woman, the higher you go up that ladder, the less cooking that more than likely you're not gonna do.
Yeah, like you think Hillary Clinton cooks her meals?
Yeah, because like you're gonna like have Consuela like fucking cook for you. I don't know.
That's probably right.
Grunhilde, whatever the fuck her name is.
Gruntilda?
Gruntilda, yeah, it's some green witch.
Stop.
I actually loved banjo.
Welcome to the Double D experience. No, shut up. Welcome to the Double D experience.
Fuck you,
all right,
David.
now you can say what you were gonna say.
Rare Games has also fallen off their pedestal from since a long time, obviously. Like, what is the like Sea of Thieves is like probably the only thing that I know of from them. Like, I guess from the modern day, Ukulele too. That game kind of went over my head.
No, that was a spiritual successor to you.
I know.
Because Rare had nothing to do with that.
But that was also still kind of rare though, since like they were the ones that like essentially like conquer. Like that was basically their game, but just another company made it.
Yeah, Nintendo basically invented the platform fighter. So like Nickelodeon All Stars is basically that's Nintendo.
David, we had a whole episode. I don't know if you're taking the piss right now, but
really, I didn't remember that. I didn't fucking remember that. Mark DiCarlo, the voice actor for Hugh Neutron, fucking like he liked it. He liked that tweet. He might have listened to our podcast, dude.
Oh my god.
This podcast is a little too edgy for me, Jimbo.
I really
that's probably what he said. I don't know.
Do you or I actually know anyone
Weezer?
like named Jimmy or like James?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think.
I know some Smash people who have James and Jimmy actually, different people.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Well.
I don't know too many Jimmys.
Welcome to the Double D experience, laddie.
David, if there was a country that you could visit, like if money wasn't an issue or
Scotland,
anything, like it would be Scotland. Like,
yes.
No cap.
Yes, no cap.
Okay, why then?
Cause I just want to like sit in like one of those like giant isolated fields in the hills by myself and just listen to nothing but like the wind just blow through the grass and like my skin and just sit under a tree. I want to see like I want to actually go to like like the hills of Scotland and just sit there and yell at God or whoever.
I don't know why, but like I imagine that whole thing in my head, like the way you described it, as like just like almost picturesque, serene. And then for some reason, my brain just decided to self-insert like one random guy with a bagpipe, like as you're like looking across the fucking islands and everything, and all you just see is like a guy going in the background.
Do you mind? I was having a fucking moment there.
It's like, I'm trying to be introspective on my vacation. Like, McDonald, can you just like fuck off for like 2 days, please?
Sorry, laddie. This is where I go to practice me bagpiping. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fuck off, John.
It's like, bro, I paid $2,000 for that plane ticket alone. I am not in the mood for this. Get the fuck out of my self-introspective moment right now. No guests. No guests allowed right now.
No guests. As far as I'm concerned, laddie, you're from that country across the pond. This is my turf. This is my land.
Well, what a Scottish.
As far as I'm concerned, you paid your dumb fucking $2,000 to come over to my country. I was not prepared to do fucking the Scottish today.
You've
I was
paid
not thinking about the fucking
$2,000. You paid $2,000 for a fucking bagpipe concert from yours truly.
Let me tell you something. Laddie. If you had a chance to change your fate,
would you?
Would you?
It's not even.
Like he gets all Bane and like threatening in my face. Like he touches my shoulder. It's like, do you feel like you're in charge of your fate?
It's like his face just darkens too. It's just like it's just completely just has like a whole tonal shift right after that. It's like
I just get like all scared because like he's huge. It's like maybe. I'm going to take this scuba snorkel and shove it so far up your arse.
The fucking English down south will fucking hear it.
And once again, the bloody shit crown will know the pride of the Scots. As I hold that snorkel up by your arse in the air and be like, bloody English! Look at this fucking American that I have on me stick! Take a look under me kilt.
I honestly also just thought of like what it would be like. Let's say if like I got stuck up by I don't know, like a Scottish mugger. But like, you know, it's one thing if like a black guy's like, give me your money, motherfucker, and like, but if it was a Scottish man,
if a black guy, you immediately went to black guy for the mugger.
No. Look, usually like I'm just going by the stereotypes, but in this scenario, I'm like imagining like, let's say I'm like walking around Edinburgh for like at night by myself, right?
Now, if you got mugged by a black guy in Edinburgh, that's different because
but that's what I'm getting at. Like, if I got mugged by a guy who's talked like this, give me your fucking money. Like I probably would just tell him to shoot me. Like, just shoot me. I can't take you seriously.
He probably would, like, if you were laughing as hard as you were right now.
Like, David, there's been so many times where I've laughed my ass off at really uncomfortable situations.
Yeah.
And I remember even a time when like my mom was just straight up like yelling at me. And this was when I was a kid. Like she's just like, you know, telling me like, you know, like just yelling at me like, oh, you should have done that. Like, you know, because it was like some chores that I didn't do or I forgot to do. I didn't fucking take out the chicken out of the fridge, like that kind of shit. And my mom would be yelling at me. And there'd be so many times when like she'd be like 5 minutes into her like yelling at me, and I would just break down laughing right in front of her face, almost completely like denouncing her authority. But it wasn't because like I was doing that to denounce her authority. It was simply because like I don't know why. It's just always happened where I remember even getting reprimanded by teachers, and I've laughed like right there in front of them. Because I just felt so uncomfortable in the situation that's
a thing.
Like my body just like goes to that mode, and then you know I remember I think you know we all remember the Joker movie, Joaquin Phoenix. Like he had that whole I mean I guess his condition was a little bit maybe I guess worse than what I don't know if what I have is a condition, but like, you know.
No,
like
definitely
laughing.
not. Some people just like their first instinct is to laugh like under pressure because it's like, oh, it's so uncomfortable. Like I can't believe I'm in this situation, and that alone is kind of funny to them.
Yeah, it's like, oh, instead of crying and breaking down, why not laugh? just do it. Like, who cares? Like, just laugh your ass off and see where that goes.
Yeah, like different people respond to those situations differently, dude. I mean, you find the humor in so many things. which is just one of the tons of reasons why, like, you know, like which is why one of the millions of reasons that I asked you to host this podcast with me and whatnot. But like, yeah, no, it depends on the situation and depends on just the type of person. And to be honest, I'm not really surprised to hear that sometimes you just laugh in those like fucking like, say you just laugh in those situations. I'm not too surprised to hear that at all. Like, you just toppled, like, you know, the fucking Ukrainian government. Like, you have like the leader's blood on your hands. Like, you know them Russians are coming to get you.
I always just think too,
and
like,
you're just laughing. and you're laughing. And you're laughing.
Like, laughing.
I know.
In general too, like, laughing is just like, it almost is like, depending on the situation, it could even be seen as a like a cry of defiance almost. Yeah. It's like, you can torture me, you can do whatever you want to me, but I'm still just gonna laugh at your fucking stupid face. Look at your stupid haircut.
If anything, it's badass when like that's the stuff that goes down. Casino Royale is one example.
Oh yeah, the torturing
James Bond. He's just laughing. He's like, I can't wait to tell everybody back at MI5 how you massage my butt. It's like, Jesus. Like,
oh no, I think the line
make light of that situation. Yeah, I fucked it up. I haven't seen that movie.
I do remember the line. I do remember the line. That was actually still like one of my favorite Bond movies. At least the Daniel Craig ones, at least, especially.
Yeah, for sure.
Hit Casino Royale. The one that came afterwards.
Yeah, Quantum of Solace was not good.
Was pretty shit.
If there's a Bond movie and he's with a woman in that movie and he doesn't fuck her, you know the movie is shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Straight up, what happens in that movie? Wow. Like, it's like the character is like, he's a little bit of a deep-rooted misogynist. Like, he's supposed to like, he has like a sort of like pathological need to sleep with damn near every woman he meets, kind of like Archer, in that sense, except for M because she's all old.
There was only one woman though, at least in Daniel Craig's Bond's universe, that he actually loved though, which was
that's the one. Fuck, that was the
Eva
movie
Green.
with that. No, the Bond actor, the one Bond. He only did the one movie, and then he went to like go join the Peace Corps, or something like that. George Lazenby. Am I thinking?
It might be him.
Yeah,
I haven't really seen too many of the older ones from the past. It was
the Bond that came after Connery. And he only did like one movie before like he quit the franchise because like, no, straight up, because like he deemed Bond a brute, right? He said like, oh, the character like, oh, this like capitalistic nature, like, oh, like killing people for like war and like for fucking countries and whatnot. That's continuing the violence, and he went to go join the Peace Corps or whatever. I'm sure he never regretted that decision.
No, I'm sure. I'm
sure. Yeah, I'm sure he's just And then after that came Roger Moore.
And then I think Roger was
Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, and then Pierce was like a bit afterwards, right? I think like maybe one or two Bonds after him.
Yeah, it was Timothy Dalton came after Roger Moore. Then after Timothy Dalton, then it was Pierce Brosnan, and then after that, this is just the movies, by the way, not counting like the other stuff. And then after
even
Pierce
the books,
Brosnan, obviously. Oh, yo, who played James Bond in the books? And then
no, it was because like the Bonds in the books.
It could be you if you go through with doing audiobooks.
Because like, I wish we were sponsored by Audible. Please get us on that Audible. But
please.
For a lot of the Bond books, like when I found out that they were books, like that kind of threw me off, but also at the same time not really too much because I just thought like, oh, this is another one of them examples of like really successful book series turning into movies. But I don't know how many like actual Bond books there were that like, because I'm pretty sure like the movies have probably gone past the books or whatever. Like a lot of them are just their own original ideas.
Yeah,
like,
I think
like Casino Royale, I think maybe was
Skyfall was never a book. Like
yeah.
Unless it was, in which case I'm a fake Bond fan, I guess. But
most Bond fans only know the fucking movies, which is like, I mean, no fault to them, you know. Like I mean, the books like they don't ever get like publicized enough. Like when Harry Potter came out, everyone was like also still saying like, oh my god, like the books are out too. Like I want to read the books. Like no one ever said that about fucking James Bond because I'm gonna say this right now. Most guys who watch James Bond probably don't read.
Yeah.
I'm being dead serious about that.
Yeah, you know, you're probably right. I mean, funny enough, you know, the first Bond movie, I'm a fucking fake fan. Why am I blanking on the name of the first
Mr. Zero.
Yeah, no.
Or Mr. O?
No, Dr. No.
Dr. No. I'm a
Doctor.
fake fan too.
We are fucking fake Bond fans out here. The only Bond I know is Bondage, apparently, because like I don't know this fucking shit. Ian Fleming. When he saw when he saw the first Bond movie, Ian Fleming, for any of you Zoomers listening, and I don't mean that as an insult, by the way, unless you take it that way. In which case,
just saying it like as a time thing, like literally, this is out of your fucking guys' like lives, like it wasn't even a thing. Like,
exactly, yeah. And if you think I'm insulting you, then I don't know, cry about it, and then we could talk about it later as adults.
Suck my dick.
Yeah, and his, not mine. And yeah, Ian Fleming, when he saw the first Bond movie, hated it.
Oh, did he really?
He hated it. Yeah,
I did not know that.
I don't remember the reason, but he literally called it dreadful.
Dreadful.
Yeah, I guess it just wasn't his vision, like at all, for the character.
And he's also English, and dreadful is actually means like a lot worse than it actually would mean for us. Like,
yeah.
English people, when they say certain words, even though it sounds like kind of like, like whatever.
Yeah.
It actually has like a lot of like meaning and subtext behind it. Like dreadful is like something that, at least around that time, I don't know how old he was, but like, he was living in that time, like, and he was probably old as well too. Like that's the time when when dreadful was like absolutely like unbearable, like some sort of way. Yeah,
a lot of things mean different things when it actually comes to the English one, and so you say like dreadful means like really dreadful over there, something worse. You guys want to know what is technically, and I don't think they even use it like. I think it is technically still a swear in England, and I know this because this word was used in Mario Party 8 and was taken out of the PAL versions of the game, the European versions, because it was basically a swear. The word spastic.
Oh yeah, no, that's a pretty bad word.
Yeah, that's actually a swear in England.
Basically means retard. Like, just in the same vein.
Basically,
yeah.
And over here it means like a muscle spasm.
Yeah.
That you have, like, oh, your arm is spastic. Like my back was spastic a few weeks ago, and I was all like Squidward, and I was like, oh, my back.
And then if you had an English friend, he would just be like, oh, David, you shouldn't be saying that word. That's a bad word in England.
If you say that word, terrible things will happen. Terrible things.
Why do you sound like Roz from fucking Monsters, Inc.?
I mean, I guess Skips from regular show sort of has that same raspy vocal fryness to the voice. Like, I mean, Roz is a little more up there because she's a woman. She's like, always watching Wazowski. Always watching. Like, I that one was meh. But Skips is a little more like, his voice is a little more low because he's like, he's a dude, and like, I guess he's obviously like, he's swole and he's bigger, and he's like immortal, lived like hundreds of years, so like, sounds like he smoked like a pack a day for every single day that he's been alive in the centuries that he's been alive. He's like, yeah. I mean, if you were literally immortal, like you literally couldn't die, like if they had no effect on you at all, would you smoke? Because the only benefit to smoking is that it looks cool, and that's it. Everything about it is fucking garbage. Otherwise,
taking the nerves off just a little bit. But that's the thing, though. It's like a very temporary thing. At least that's what I've read, because I don't smoke. But like everyone that I've known who has smoked, like they all give me the same reasons. It takes the edge off. Which, I mean, again, if that is the case, then like, whatever. Because I still think, I believe now, like even cigarettes are still cheaper than fucking weed. Like, if
probably gonna be more of a demand for weed.
Yeah, that's what I mean though, because like also at least around that time, before like all this shit got legalized and stuff, buying it obviously like through illegal means, I guess. It's obviously they're gonna be charging even more just for like like fucking like a small bag of it. That's like more than obviously like a pack of cigarettes, which is like what, $9 at any convenience store, from what at least I've seen. So I mean, obviously like people are gonna pick the cheaper option, so therefore cigarettes. Even though I don't think like Dare class had to explain like that, obviously smoking cigarettes to a crazy like amount is obviously gonna fucking have like really terrible damage like thing to your lungs and God knows what else. And I always and going back to the hypothetical, if it was no skin off my bones, like basically smoking, I would probably not do cigarettes. I'd go for cigars then. I think cigars is like one step above, obviously, like a cigarette, just because this is almost like where like a dick joke comes in, I guess. But like cigars are obviously bigger looking,
Yeah.
and like they just look also just. I don't know, like it looks as if you're like puffing on a dick, I guess.
You wouldn't smoke a pipe.
I mean, even pipes too. Like I don't know. Like smoking does like aesthetically, obviously, look cool, but I also think like you kind of have to also dress as if you are like you smoke cigars on the regular, because if I was just outside of my house with like let's say a shitty graphic tee and cargo shorts, and I just pulled out a cigar, or no pants, like I look like a fucking homeless person, like just smoking that cigar. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Like you gotta like almost dress like Marco Corleone to like make
Dennis, let's be
smoking
honest,
a cigar look cool.
You want to do that.
That's what I mean though, yeah. But I don't want to fucking like, you know, have like lung cancer because that's like the worst goddamn thing ever.
Well, we got the the head of the Linguini family. Don Dennis Linguini.
Don Ravioli. You have the floor, Don Ravioli.
Got the 5 families. Oh, man. If it were me, I would just smoke it out of my scuba snorkel.
Oh, and actually, David, I want to
What?
talk about something.
Oh, you do?
Because I watched, on a podcast no less, I watched 2. I watched Godfather 2
Oh, yeah?
a couple days ago.
All right.
Actually, no, a couple. It was actually a week or two ago. But I watched it again. And I have to say, because it's been a while since I watched number 2. It's one of those movies that it's very rare, but it's one of those movies that I truly feel just gets better with every rewatch. I don't know why. Like it's obviously already got that timelessness that obviously a lot of movies don't have. It's also just like it just sucks you in. Right after the first 5 minutes.
Very immersive.
After Vito's mom, like, basically gets killed, like right in front of him, and just his journey towards America, and then even after that, we go in a transition into like Michael's part of the story. I usually do take bathroom breaks for some movies. I literally stayed until that intermission near towards like the end. You know, like after
I've never seen the whole movie in its entirety.
Oh, have you not?
No.
Well, David,
there's a lot of movies I need to watch, if I'm being honest.
That is one of my recommended.
But movies aren't on Netflix anymore, so.
Oh,
now we can just play video games on Netflix, so I can't watch The Godfather or have an easy way of doing that without paying more semblance of money. So no, Dennis, I haven't seen The Godfather 2 in its entirety. I know some of the gist of it, but I've never really sat down and watched through the whole thing. I'm down to do it. Let's do it together.
Okay, yeah. We could have like one of those. We could have like a movie double D sort of like kind of episode.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. And then we can go to the part. We can go to the part where he says, "You broke my heart, Fredo," and be like, "I don't know, it's kinda gay."
Okay,
kissed his brother.
Mine is.
I don't know, man.
David not watching. Kinda gay. I really do think I don't know if it has been admitted into the American repository of It has to be. At least I'm pretty sure the first one has, but I think the second one also deserves to be in it too. Like
in the what you said?
In the New York repository of film or something. I remember we talked about it before. It's like where all the culturally significant films like basically are just saved for all time, like for future generations. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be hearing this for about 5 minutes. Yo, people are going to like click off this video like real quick after this.
Believe it or not, I still didn't hold that for as long as I would have liked to. But I'm still relatively impressed with myself. No, I'm looking around right now. I'm not seeing anything for it. So, I don't know. New York repository of poop.
I think it was the White House repository.
Oh, you mean like the Library of Congress?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, motherfucker! I searched New York repository of. Okay, Dennis. Is the White House in New York?
It might as well be.
Shut the fuck up.
It might as well be, dude. New York is more important than DC, really.
I mean, yeah, you know what? I was gonna say yes, but the Pentagon's in DC.
I don't give a fuck about the Pentagon. Just move
Okay,
that
well,
shit
you
move that shit
should.
to Long Island.
It's a horrible idea.
Fuck it.
Is the
We got
Godfather
all
2 in
like
the
New
library?
York's got more room for all that shit than Virginia. Honestly.
Virginia's a bigger state.
Just send it up to New York State. There's nothing up there anyways.
LibraryOfCongress.gov, Godfather Part 2.
Fucking knew it.
There it be.
Yeah.
Now the real question is the third one in there, because I doubt it.
No, it's definitely not. I mean, I know David has
What?
watched it, but Godfather 3 I truly felt was...
Yes, it is.
Is it really? Number 3?
I mean, there's a page for it on like the Library of Congress website.
But is it like explicitly state that it's in their like repository? Or I don't know, whatever they called it. Like,
I don't think so.
okay, I mean, you know, it did not do too well. Like, that was also made in like a really dark moment in Coppola's life too, which, like, I don't know, Paramount was almost like twisting his arm to like make that movie, which I don't know, like after being in a dark moment in your life and then you're being strong-armed by like a production company to make a movie that I'm pretty sure part of himself like he didn't even want to make. Like that kind of bothers me a lot.
Yeah, there's like it's like they were doing that before video games started doing that. Obviously, but like
obviously. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, Hollywood has all sorts of ideas. I mean, you take a look at Hollywood and be like, hey, how do we make like a strong female character? I know. Let's just give her all the like traits of a toxic man.
Or just a toxic person, really.
No,
like just,
not even just.
No, I think toxicity as genderless.
No,
I think it
Dennis,
could go both ways, though.
No,
like
they make
shit.
him arrogant and rude and like
How is that a masculine thing?
selfish.
What, women can't be arrogant and selfish?
Well,
and
now we think
too?
they can because that's what Hollywood portrays them as. Also, they always have that like stupid little half-shave haircut.
Nah, David, there was a character.
They're always gay or bi, because God knows that like in order like if you to show a strong woman can't even be biologically sexually attracted to a man. No.
Hold up,
Go, strong woman, go.
This was before any of this shit happened. I know you never watched or at least finished the one who flew over a cuckoo's nest, but that nurse. I talked about her before, but that nurse in that movie is about like the definition of a toxic piece of filth that I've ever seen in any film in my life. And if you ever do get around to watching that movie, David, I'm telling you, this was even before all that feminist shit and all that crap was even a thing.
What
She's
movie
also
did you say?
not the one who flew over the cuckoo's nest. It's with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, this was before all of that. And she's a woman, and she's not like I don't think any of the like qualities that she has is like a strong female. It's just her being a like
But yeah, that's not a strong. She's like the villain. That's different. I'm talking about like protagonists here. Like I'm talking about like for young girls to like look up to. You know what I mean? And I just think it's dumb and very like head-assery and like counterintuitive to be like portraying like a strong woman just by giving her like so many like, you know,
unlikable traits.
Yeah, no, not even unlikable, but just by making her more like a man. Like it's like that just reinforces like the whole stereotype that masculine means strong and femininity is weak. You know what I mean? Like why can't we have like a feminine like protagonist and have her also be a strong woman that don't put up with no shit? Why can't we have both? Like I don't understand. Like it's just so dumb. Like all those dumbass action movies where it's just like, oh, like look how feministic we are. We're reaching out to like the other audience. Please give us your money, please. Like we know you don't typically see action movies, but see this one. See gosh, is go strong woman go. It's like, but I just think I think they're just getting it like super backwards, and they're like doing like pretty much the opposite of what progress. As a white man. I'm saying this as a white man.
Okay.
The opinion that matters the most when it comes to shit like this.
I mean, most of your boys like are in Senate and the Congress, so it's like obviously your guys' opinions matter.
Oh yeah, my boys. Yeah, I definitely voted for all of them.
But subtracting that, I do feel though that at least when it comes to a lot of pieces of media, even video games too, like we've gotten our female characters that are strong and at the same time likable. It's fucking doable. It's obviously doable. Like we can make like at least not we, but like movies and television shows and even like video games can make characters like that, and it's actually doable. Is it tricky? Yeah, sure, but at the same time though, it's doable.
Yeah.
And I do agree with David on this count at least, that like the route that a lot of people go, like fucking Captain Marvel is an insufferable she is such a bitch.
Yeah, I never even bothered seeing that movie. No, but she's strong, Dennis, so that means she has to be an asshole.
And that totally means that like, being strong is also
yeah.
But the thing is though, like her whole thing is that I am so all powerful. That's why I'm a But the thing is though is that characters like that bore me so fucking much so easily. Characters that could literally snap their fingers and literally destroy an entire galaxy if they wanted to.
Right.
He's like, haha, look at me, I'm so fucking strong. I could do whatever the fuck I want. But I still remember like the one person, or like at least one character that took that, it's not a female, but who took that whole trope and basically twisted it on its head, was One Punch Man. Was because he literally is the most powerful being in the entire fucking universe. But he hates like the fact that he has that power. Isn't that a more unique take on it too? Because he hates the fact that he's so fucking all powerful, because his whole dream, at least in the series, like in the beginning, he wanted to be a hero. And he eventually did become a hero by doing 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 10-kilometer run, and I think 100 squats, like basically every day. It's supposed to be a meme, but like he did all of that and he lost all of his hair. And
I've seen the footage. Yeah.
And and throughout the entire series, like he battles with this whole like kind of lethargy because nothing excites him anymore. Not even like a gigantic monster battle excites him. Like he's dealing with like literal, like real feelings of almost like I guess a bit of an existential crisis, I suppose, because like, I am a hero, but I'm not enjoying being a hero. If Captain Marvel, like, or if a lot of heroes, because she is arguably one of the strongest heroes in that whole universe. And people were saying that, like, she's going to be the one that's going to stop Thanos and shit. She showed up for 5 minutes and didn't do anything.
I really more than anything else, and I know this is a very old meme at this point, more than anything else in this world, I just wanted Ant-Man to shrink down and crawl up Thanos' booty hole. And just expand outwards from inside him. And just, if anything, the fact that people thought that he got snapped and then he didn't, I thought that was what was going to happen. To be like, oh shit, it's going to be Ant-Man. Let's go, Paul Rudd. That's my fucking boy right there. I love Paul Rudd. But no.
You think Marvel would ever subvert our expectations like that? I almost feel as if, though, a lot of their movies and even their series now are so formulaic that
I don't fucking care. I don't watch any of that shit.
I know, but like, it's because I almost feel like people and directors and such, like I haven't seen a good movie in this day and age. And if anyone does have a good movie to recommend me, please like put it down in the comments. Where it subverts your expectations and it leaves it and it gives you a very satisfying feeling at the end.
Knives Out did that for me.
Knives Out. Okay,
Knives Out. That was the murder mystery that starred Daniel Craig.
Okay, I'm gonna put
like that movie like takes like it feels like so formulaic, and it is, but it like it does like it twists upon the twist and like perfectly like utilizes the genre of movie that it is to somehow like make you like not expect the twist in of genre where the whole point is where you're waiting for the twist to try to guess what happened. It was done in such a unique way that I feel like sort of like sort of like set a little bit of the tone for like the murder mystery again, you know what I mean? Because now I feel like somebody's going to try and do a twist off of that, but it's going to be expected after you saw a movie like Knives Out. You know, like, you know, because, you know, like the murder mystery, it's a whodunit, and then there's like the twist to be like, oh, this person did it, or this is what happened. No, it's like, it's got the twist. Like, it's never the obvious person who did it, or just kidding, it is the obvious person who did it, and it just, I can't describe it too hard without like spoiling anything, or at the very least I'm not prepared to since I wasn't ready to talk about it, but like the movie plays on the genre of the whodunit so well and twists upon its formula to the point where it somehow accomplishes exactly what those original movies, like those old noir movies, set out to do and made you feel like you would back in the day when you first watched those movies. It's so fucking meta. It's like crazy in that regard. So
okay, I added it onto my list.
Add it, yeah. As far as strong female characters go, I mean, I think of DC. I mean, let's not talk about Wonder Woman 84, obviously.
Did you watch it?
No, fuck no.
Okay. I'm just asking.
But the first Wonder Woman, the new one that came out, the first one, goddamn, that was like such a great, dude, Diana, she's a fucking phenomenal character. And she's not like that whole like stereotypical like you know, brooding, arrogant man. Like she's none of those
look
things.
At me.
Like, yeah, like she's very curious about like the new world that she sees and like embraces the beauty
Mm-hmm.
of it, like in some sort of like stereotypical some sort of stereotypical ways that like old-fashioned woman would sort of. But that doesn't. The movie acknowledges that doesn't mean that she's weak. She was a fish out of... Still fuck up fucking everyone in that movie, physically and or otherwise.
yeah,
it's like
obviously.
she's still like a crazy, like strong character in that regard, and like she doesn't need to be that stupid stereotype to portray that. Yeah, Hollywood is shit. We all know it. It's shit's run by fucking pedophiles. Like that's not even a conspiracy theory anymore. That's just fucking fact. There is
good movies though. There is still good movies.
Are they all made by Hollywood though, man?
Yeah, a good chunk of them are still, yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess that's why, like, you know, like certain directors, like, they are able to do it well. And for even Wonder Woman, like, her whole, I guess it was a bit of a conflict, like her trying to, like, kind of come to grips with the new world that she's, like, living in. Because, like, oh my God, there's men on this fucking, like, you know, in this place. Like, I haven't seen a guy in forever. I lived with women all my life.
Right.
I mean, I know that wasn't like a big thing, but like, it's just a joke, guys, for all the people who loved Wonder Woman. I'm just saying though, like her entire world just flipped upside down because she, like, this is a whole new world that she just didn't even fucking knew existed. If anything, I don't know if like Themyscira like ever kind of told her like there is a world out there, but like it's.
You know what I'm realizing?
It is doable.
More than anything else.
People can't do it.
You know what I'm realizing? DC girls. Right facing arrow asterisk greater than sign. Marvel girls. Fucking furry.
DC's only had, at least if we're talking about their cinematic universes, we've only seen Wonder Woman, right?
DC has Starfire and Raven.
No, but at least in terms of the movies. Though.
Starfire has dealt with fucking racism.
But in terms of the movies, though, I mean, though. Because we haven't seen, like, a take on Starfire, like, on the big screen, I guess. I don't know if Titans is going to be getting...
Not in live action.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. Like, in terms of
there was Teen Titans go to the movies.
I'm talking mostly about like the new live action movies that have come out because that's like the portrayals that we're like talking about. Like Wonder Woman obviously does trump. I will say she does trump a lot of the female characters that we've seen in Marvel, and I'm not even saying this like as a fan of either of them, but Black Widow, and because she was obviously I think one of the primary female members of the team, even though all she had was 2 fucking Glocks, and I honestly thought that she was the most useless out of all.
You
of them.
always
like,
say that.
She had like 2 baby Glocks, and even Hawkeye was still more useful.
Riding around the block with the Glock, your ass is gonna get shot.
Like, do you remember in the first movie, the only person that actually tried to take a shot at Loki was fucking Hawkeye?
Yeah,
He was the only one that tried to take a shot. What the fuck could Black Widow do with her 2 baby Glocks over, like, a moving target? I really thought that, like, you know, when it comes to, I guess, I don't know, like, other humans, yeah, she could probably kick their ass. But, like, a fucking alien and plus a god, it's like, what are you gonna do, bitch? Like, really, what are you gonna do? You're not even Batman either. Like, you're not that smart either way. Like, Thanos and her literally squared up. Thanos could probably, like, blow in her direction and she'd die.
I mean, that was most of them at first. I mean, I get what you're saying, but
I know,
like,
but I really didn't like how a lot of
she is the only Avenger without powers, right? Well, no, there's Star-Lord.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean,
there's also
yeah,
Star-Lord.
yeah.
And then yeah,
Captain Marvel's the only one. She's really the only other, like, female Avenger that really matters. Like,
I'm not even just talking about the women. I was talking about the ones who didn't have powers. But yeah, no, that's also true. I mean, Gamora got fucking yeeted. So
yeah. And then the current Gamora is not even, like, the real Gamora. I don't know how to say.
And then they all came back and walked next to each other because, like, hey, we're Disney and we're feministic and give us more of your money. I mean, you can like that shit all you want, but holy fuck,
Yeah.
I've never seen something pander harder in my fucking
Yeah.
life. But whatever. I mean, if it meant something, you know, to like women who saw it, I can't talk about nothing. I mean, you know, my biggest source of media or the most recent show that I've watched is the Venture Brothers, and the recent scene from that I showed Dennis was describing a rusty venture, which is apparently a very heinously disgusting sex act that's named after somebody who has nothing to do with it, like, at all. Like, and he's very displeased about it. See, what you do is you take an old scuba snorkel,
David, how would you feel if you found out?
and you take that snorkel,
Had
and
to
you
do
put
it-
your cock in the wee mouth part. Then you take the other end and you shove it right up your back porch. And then you take that snorkel and you grab the middle of it and you're fucking your own ass. And pulling your crank at the same time. You fucking nut.
David, how would you feel if your name basically was tied to a
Was
sex
a
act?
sex act. Oh, let me tell you something real quick. At first I'd be like, what the fuck? I'd be like appalled. I'm like, my name is a sex act? It's like, oh yeah, you ever been in bed with a girl and you done the David Riverall? I'd be like, what? No.
I'd be honored.
You
You ever chunged a girl?
It depends. It depends on what the sex act is, Dennis. Like, if it's something I would do,
I would be honored if it was the most heinous thing ever.
Of course you would.
I think it would have to be heinous for me to even care about it. If
like,
it
you're
was
talking like
I can't think of words, but like if it was basically tied to, let's say, the equivalent of like some vanilla shit, like, oh, like you're fucking a girl and you stick your thumb in her ass, it's like that's it. Like,
no, you want like the deep shit, right? Like,
yeah,
give me
I want like
what
disgusting filth. like it doesn't mean anything if it's like some like vanilla fucking thing. Like, it doesn't
you ever
matter.
been in bed with a girl and you done the Dennis Chung? It's a straight move. See, what you do is that when you're out on a date with a girl, you don't let her go to the bathroom the entire time, and then you get home and you have anal sex with her, and she shits all over your dick. And then you take your dick out and you cum all over her back. That's a Dennis Chung.
Dude, I'm being serious. Like David thinks I'm lying.
I don't think you're lying at all. That's why I'm fucking concerned. I don't think you're lying in the slightest.
Okay, also, don't be concerned. Like, I think that is something that you should be rooting for me.
All right, well, if you had to choose, go ahead.
Like, because, look, my name is like my piece of, it's like myself. It's my identity. And the very fact that that it is tied to a sex act is one, pog. But I really would dislike it if it was tied to something so like whatever, because I know who I am. I'm amazing. I love myself.
Damn right.
Knowing that it is tied to
right.
some weak sauce shit would anger me. And I don't settle for mediocrity, especially not when it comes to sex acts tied to my name. Like, that shit would have to be almost something that you can't even describe.
But would you want it to at least have something to do with you? Like, wouldn't you want it to would you want it to be something that you like would do? No?
Oh,
Yes?
like something actually tied to like something that I would do?
Yeah, like the dirtiness aside, like would you want it to be something you do? Because like think about it, like it'd be like, oh, it's a gay sex act, and like you're not gay. you know, I'm serious. Like that, that's what happened to Rusty Venture.
I know, because that's why like I was thinking about that, and I was like, oh wait, I didn't think about that at all.
Yeah, because like for me, you want like mine would be literally impossible, right? Like mine would be like one where like it's a preliminary sex act, right? Like you have to like travel like through like the fucking realm of Mordor and find a wizard, right? And then you have to defeat the wizard and collect his magic wand and his spell book, right? Because you need the magic wand and spell book, and then you take your date or the girl, whoever you're fucking, and you make her tits like Titanus Giganticus, and you make them like fucking huge, like temporarily, right? And then what you do is that you lube that all up, and you basically like fuck her tits inward. Like inward, like it's like, like a fucking, like a little hole made from her breast, or you fuck her nipples, right?
An inverse titty.
Yeah, basically that, just until you come, because I will tell you that, like, from my experience, like, there's no greater feeling than, like, having, like, when you're shooting your load, right? When you're shooting your load, if you're with a busty woman, there's no greater feeling than having her, like, catch that load and finish rubbing it out inward with her tits. It literally feels like I'm, like, having, like, this fucking, like, malleable, like, soft, like, pillowy things that is just, like, unloading, like, my fucking, like, semen onto her. It's like, yeah, like, tit fucking is one thing, and that already feels good enough.
Yeah.
But when a woman's, like, chest is big enough to do it inward, which for me is not most women, because most women are normal.
But you don't want normal women.
No, because I can't, because, like, it don't fit. But I'm telling you, like, when it
David, you have a bigger sausage than me. Like, what the fuck do you mean?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't find one whose titties are big enough. That's what I'm saying, Dennis. It's I can't find one to pair up with the Cuban sandwich, as you so graciously call it. I can't find the ham to my fucking mustard.
Have you ever said that to?
No, I have never fucking said that to anybody. Why would I?
It's funny.
Dennis, you're not a woman, okay?
So what?
You think if I describe my dick to a woman?
Okay,
like,
after you've been together for a while.
That's what
that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not just gonna go to a random girl. Like, I mean, maybe if you're that confident, I don't know. Maybe she'll laugh and she'll be like, "Oh yeah, let me see it," and then like you actually whip it out. She's gonna be like, "Yeah, that's a Cuban sandwich." She actually gets some mustard too.
Now that sounds like it would give me some sort of infection, especially the tanginess of mustard.
Real question.
What?
Is there a traditional way of making a Cuban sandwich?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me the ingredients.
Well, you take some bread, and then you take an old scuba snorkel, and you take that snorkel,
put it on the bread,
and you put it on the bread. Then when you're frying it in the pan, you put your cock in the wee mouth part. And you take some like little can of mustard and you put that right up your back porch. And then you're panning the fucking sandwich and fucking your own ass at the same time. No, real talk. You take some bread. I forget the kind of bread, and you do like, you like pan fry the sandwich, right? You take ham. Well,
no panini press, right? You're actually gonna be doing it on the pan, right?
You can do it in a panini presser, but the traditional way of doing it is you put it on a pan like you're cooking a grilled cheese sandwich, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
So, turkey, or I think pork. I forget which one. I think both actually, if I'm not mistaken. No, no. It's pork and ham. I'm retarded. I'm sorry.
I've had like different kinds too. Yeah, that's why I'm like wondering if there is like a traditional fucking way, like people from Havana or Cuba, like in general, like just actually make it. Yeah, go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, no, but a traditional Cuban sandwich is a little bit, it's a little bit different. Like you take some ham, some roasted pork, you take Swiss cheese. That's the cheese that you use for it. Swiss, pickles, mustard. And I've never had one that did this, but apparently sometimes salami. That's not what it is. It's ham, roasted pork, Swiss cheese, pickles, and mustard. And the way you cook it up, you take the butter and you put it on you put that shit on the pan, and you let it like simmer all around, and you basically cook it sort of like a grilled cheese sandwich with all the ingredients in it. You flip it on and over, and you let the Swiss cheese melt in it and infuse everything around like some sort of like patty melt type of thing, right? And that's a Cuban sandwich. And the special thing is that
not David's cock. No.
Please do not put my dick on a hot pan. Look, there's kinkiness, and then there's just plain pain, and that's just fucking.
And David,
pain.
I'm just gonna go back to this. Like, I have a feeling like if you like maybe 1 out of 3 times that line will stick, and then the girl would actually like wanna, because you actually like David. I can't say that, and then the girl's gonna drop my pants. It's gonna be like, oh. Like, I can't say that confidently. Like, you can.
It was your fucking
and you have
cock.
my linguine cock.
Want some miso soup?
Like, you could do that confidently and honestly have something to present. Most guys, I'm gonna say this. I mean, we could phrase it a different way, but like David is the only one that. At least
my dick
in this
is not that big.
No. In this situation where he could actually have something to present is what I'm saying though. Like, David, I think you could use the line. I think you can.
Get me drunk enough, and maybe I'll have the confidence to walk up to some girl.
No, but I would also like be pointing to like an older woman. I think the older it would get, like the more brave you would be, low key. Because it'd be so easy for you.
I mean, if you guys want a Nintoonist fun fact, I have literally never slept with a woman below the age of 30. Some of y'all might think that's weird, and you might think that's like, oh man, I guess there's something like deep problematic when you that like you can't like connect to girls your own age.
Nah,
yeah.
Fuck that shit.
No. Yeah, you're probably right.
No, but also it's just like that's like a non-issue though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's it's better than like having a bigger attraction to fucking underage girls like some of you fucking weirdos out there do.
Would you?
That's why it's better to be in a MILF than it's better to be into girls who would be like, fucking borderline 18. Like, she told me she was 20. Like, no. All right? She looked like she was way younger than 20. You should have known better, you dunce.
Would you fuck a 60-year-old?
No.
Well, what if she was actually still hot looking?
Maybe.
But then she told you afterwards, I'm 60. It's like, I don't know.
Okay.
Wouldn't you actually still be wouldn't you still be like a little impressed? It's like, damn, you're 60? It's like, shit, you're keeping it together.
I mean, women's stamina is just generally better than men. Usually.
No, but but not even stamina, like picture of youth.
Oh,
like
I was surprised.
60. Yeah, like she's 60.
Oh yeah,
but she's still. It looks as if she's like, I don't know, like a hot 40-year-old.
I don't know. Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe she's worth it. I don't fucking know. I'm just saying, man. Like, I don't know. Like, if she looks that way, like, good for her. They say the 60 be the new 50, or what they say as these things go on and around, and as medicine gets.
Would you
better
swipe
and
right?
whatnot.
Would you swipe right on a 60-year-old if she looked like as if she was like a hot 40-year-old?
I hate Tinder. I don't
know, but okay, let's say in this case you don't.
Okay, in this case.
Okay, no, you do, but you have like a begrudging, like sort of.
No, man, I don't know. I'm not thinking about that, man. I'm just thinking about like what everybody, doctor's appointments. What if I like break a hip?
I don't know. I think she'd understand. No, I feel as if the older women they kind of get more understanding with a lot of shit. It's the same for kind of guys as well. Like because like we've been there,
Yeah.
At a certain age, like we kind of like can understand each other.
Look, man, I spent like the last 12 hours in and out of urgent cares. All right, so I fucking
but that was for something completely unrelated.
No, it wasn't even that. It was just fucking dumb. Like, I'll tell you all listening right now. I somehow got the last 24 hours have been such a farce. It's just like my fucking life in a nutshell. I somehow got, because I was supposed to be at work today, and for the next the day after as well. I had to call out for 2 days, which they're understanding.
Oh, you had to be at work? Oh shit!
For the last 2 days, yeah, I had to call out, dude, because I have I have
contagious eye.
Yeah, like I literally, and everybody in the comments or Dennis, just get your is out now. All right, because I have pink eye.
Okay, real quick.
Not pink guy.
All right, go ahead.
That's what I have in my eye. It's just he won't shut up. He's just like there standing in my eyelid, just constantly.
It's just like in your iris.
Me.
It's just pink eye in your iris. That's like the actual disease.
Oh, dude, the fucking PowerPoint presentation you gave the other day. And if you look towards the chart right here, you will see, you'll see we'll have our dividends pretty much completely figured out by the fourth quarter when we launch the new line of products. And finally, in conclusion, Blaze, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I need to learn to hit the record button sooner because we said that like before we hit record, and I'm like, "Fuck, that's funny as hell." Like, that should have been in. But anyway, yes, I have a pink eye. I had it once when I was 7. That was when I had like bad pink eye, and now I have it here. I don't wear my mask when I'm at work because I'm vaccinated.
But that had nothing to do with your mask to begin with, so.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, like maybe like I got close to like a coworker or like a kid who had it. A lot of kids like pass by. I sell their like toys that I sell them to the parents and whatnot. Maybe like I just touched my eye or something, and like he touched one of the toys that I was using or whatever, and that's what happened. So I have that. So I only learned that it was pink eye like late last night when my mom was like, "Yeah, it's probably pink eye," and I'm like, "What the fuck? I just thought I got like an eyelash like stuck in there or something." Well, geez, I want to treat this like now because like pink eye is contagious. Yeah. If somebody gets close to it, like if by touch, like if somebody touches my eye or I touch my eye and I don't realize it, I touch something and then they like rub off on it. It's gross and it's like grinkly. It's fine now. I caught it really in the early stages, but I had to go like to urgent care so I could get drops for it. And this was late at night, so I didn't even know if I was going to be able to get to the pharmacy. I had to wait in an urgent care. God, to like fucking like till I don't even know how long I was there, man, because the urgent care like was supposed to close at 10:30, but there was still some patients there. I got there and there were so many fucking people there at like something like 10:30 at like a fucking Friday night. I guess they're all getting COVID tests or some shit, or like like, "Hi, I broke my dick," or whatever, and like the hospitals won't take me. I don't know, but there were so many people there. I had to wait like over an hour, and I'm just like sitting there like waiting for them to be like, yes. It's pink eye. There you go. And so they gave me the drops. Told me like I'll stay out of work for just 2 days. You'll probably be fine. So then I had to rush over to like the pharmacy. Gonna close at midnight. Got that shit. And only the next day does my mom tell me like, "Oh yeah, you should probably get like a COVID test." I read somewhere online that like something like 1 to 3% of people have like pink eye as like a symptom of COVID, and I was just like, "Bitch, what?" What? That pissed me off because I'm like, what the fuck isn't a fucking like there's so much misinformation out there about it, but what the fuck isn't like a fucking sign of COVID nowadays? Oh, you have pink eye? COVID. Oh, you have a little pain in your chest? COVID. Oh, you can't get it up with your wife anymore after like 25 years? COVID. It's like everything is fucking COVID now. It's like other diseases don't exist ever since the fucking pandemic came around. So I had to wait another hour today at a different urgent care just so I could get a fucking COVID test to give my mom peace of mind, even though we're all vaxxed up on a Wednesday. And lo and behold, don't have COVID. There, like I didn't feel fucking sick at all. But what it did get me, Dennis, in this last 24 hours, was a beautiful trip down memory lane. I wound up going to the urgent care in Montvale, which is where I went to high school. Actually, I'm ashamed to say that I went to the same high school as Bill Maher. He went to Pascack Hills in Montvale, and yeah, no, it was cool because like I went to a new urgent care. There's like a whole crazy, it's a very rich area, so there's this whole area there that when I was in high school was all farmland. As far as the eye could see, all farmland, and now it's completely like shopping centered out.
Developed.
Like, developed and stuff out. And it was surreal to go and see that. And then I just like, since my high school is literally around the corner, like you can see it from that area, it's on the same road. I just like drove up there and I took a look through the cafeteria windows, like all isolated. And I looked towards like the wall there, at like this little corner, like right by the hallway, like very like isolated, like in the mornings when nobody is there. And I remember, man, that was where I had my first kiss. It was like,
oh, bro,
you know what I mean? It's like it was just very like, oh, I peaked in high school. What a shit life I have.
It's all been downhill from there.
That's my story. I'm just like, well, I'm a loser. No, I'm kidding. But like, it was surreal. It was just very nice to see. I'm just like, oh God, I remember that. You know, it was beautiful. It was like very early in the morning that I actually wound up going to school too early because of the musical or some reason. And then she, for whatever reason, she was the only one that was there. It was my girlfriend at the time. I mean, we weren't like official yet. And then that was just where we had our first kiss in that little corner when like nobody was around except one kid who looked all angsty in a hoodie, who was like on the other side of the cafeteria.
He's probably jerking himself off.
Probably, yeah. You know what? I just realized that's probably what was going down. But you know what? It's just one of those things that like it was just good for the soul. You know, it's just like, yo, good memories, man. Honestly,
my mom was real goofy today, but this helped with that.
and then when I got home, my mom was like, "Oh, did you get like?" She texted me like on the way home. I was like, "Yeah, but did you get like the long test? Did you get the PCR? Or did you get a rapid test?" And I'm like, I had literally just told her that I got a rapid test. And then when I got home, she's like, "Oh, well, no, the rapid tests aren't always as, you know, accurate." I'm like, I'm not going to another urgent care again and waiting another hour or two again. Like, I don't have fucking COVID. I feel fine. I'm vaccinated. I don't got no sickety sick. And I literally just got a COVID test that came back negative. Okay?
Like, what more do you want from me?
They want to know the PCR test is the right one. Well, the rapid test apparently is the one that they're giving out at the fucking urgent cares, all right? Sue me. Stupid. Dumb.
You know, I have to say, the only time I even got COVID was when I took that fucking vaccine. I swear to God, like, the chills that I got, I'm
that doesn't count.
I know, but it kind of still does, though, because it is, like, still the fucking virus. It's just, like, a very dead form of it. But it's, like, that was the first time I felt symptoms like that. Like, in terms of, like, chills and shit, like, in a long while. I haven't felt that in such a long time.
Yeah.
Like, I think the last time I got, like, straight up chills was honestly back in college. I haven't felt that sick. I mean, you know, again, like, I'm not gonna say some pussy shit and be like, "Oh yeah, like it was the toughest 2 days of my life," but like having those chills and shit. But like, I hate the feeling though. Like, it's just a shitty fucking feeling getting the chills.
You know me. I swear to God, I had COVID. I mean, I've told this story on the podcast before where like I had this fucking idiot touch everything in my bag and then only afterwards tell me that she was sick, and then had coughing fits for like 5 minutes on end that I've never had before in my entire life. Literally, like, made out with my girl at the time, like, before I left to go to my grandmother's house. I have no idea how she didn't get that shit, but, you know, whatever. You know what they say about Cuban women? They're fucking invincible. I got my 93-year-old grandmother downstairs, got arthritis up the bones, all end up in that shit. You know, falls down, gets back up, doesn't break no shit. 93-year-old, I don't need no independent. I don't need no man. I'm independent. I can go through this whole fucking country without learning its native language. I'm fucking good. I am fine. So, it's true what they say about Cuban women. I don't know. I mean, they've been living isolated on an island for God knows how long, how many years. So, yeah. So maybe that's why she didn't get COVID. But yeah, no, it's not a pleasant feeling. For me, because like when I get that sick, I get delirious. I'm the type where like sometimes like there'll be that one night where I sleep where like I feel like I'm on acid. You know,
like when you're moaning in bed, you're like,
sweating, moaning, obsessive thoughts, can't get anything out of my head, one thing rapidly to another, cannot sleep. I once ran downstairs screaming at my parents that like a cow won an election. And I was fucking tight because I'm just like, he was dressed as a human. I'm like, that's not a cow. I mean, that's not a human, that's a fucking cow. Mom! And I like ran downstairs and they were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, wait, did I dream that?
It's like you just like came down in a cold sweat. Like that's another thing too.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Like, it's like I'm pretty sure everyone in this audience probably knows like what feeling sick obviously feels like.
Audience.
But I think of all the symptoms for me that are honestly the worst, it's chills, period. Stomach aches, headaches, I could fucking deal with that shit. Like it's like that's like manageable to me compared to chills because it's like when you like it's like if it's the first day that you have the chills, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing you could do. Like for that one day that I had the chills, like after I got my vaccine, I tried like everything on this planet Earth to try to get warm, or like at least just to get the fucking feeling away from me. And I like had a heating pad underneath. I was actually sleeping on my mom's bed because like her bed had like this little heating pad that I used to like kind of warm me up. I didn't feel a fucking thing from that heating pad. It wasn't until the next day afterwards that I started to actually like start to feel some warmth. And That first day though, like there was nothing. I literally stayed up all night because like it just kept me up. That like eternally uncomfortable feeling of just cold, but like it's like a different type of cold, you know?
Right.
Like chills is a completely different feeling than just obviously feeling cold like outside. Like let's say naked. It's completely different. Like this is like one of those colds that like I guess types of cold where you just can't get warm with. Like it just sticks with you eternally. Like I was even thinking like maybe I'll just throw some more sweaters on or maybe I'll just sweat it out. I wasn't even sweating a fucking bullet. And I was wearing 3 shirts and 2 pairs of sweatpants. Like one pajamas like underneath and then an actual pair of like kind of thick sweatpants. Didn't feel a fucking thing. Like not even sweat at all. None.
Jeez.
Nothing. That's how bad it was, like when I had it. And it was obviously again like the second day it was a bit more manageable and I was able to actually start to sweat it out a bit. But like yeah, headaches like and stomach aches, like you got a stomach ache, just lie down. You got a headache, just go to sleep. Like take some aspirin and go to sleep. But for chills, like there's really nothing you could do almost. Like you can't sleep it off.
Temperature things are the worst.
Yeah. Like when you're just eternal thermometer is just like going out of control. Like it's just going up and down like the entire time. And it just sometimes even just dips down entirely. Like for a fever too, it's like that's also manageable too. Just like I don't know, just take some fucking Vicks and just go to sleep. Like
you know, that's like a matter of like preference, I guess, because some people say it's better to be cold because like now that's something you could at least change by putting on layers, but to be hot, it's like what do you do? But then again, that same philosophy goes both ways. You like put on a bunch of fans, like you said, you know, take like the medicine for it and go back to sleep. I mean, are there really pills for chills?
No.
No, right?
It's just mostly like home remedies. It's like drinking hot food, like or soup, porridge maybe, shit like that. But I remember I was having like so much fucking porridge that first day that it didn't do a damn thing, and all I just felt was bloated with rice and water in my gut.
Yeah. God knows,
like
man.
I said nothing in there except rice and water.
Dude, it's the worst, man. I mean, I'm sorry to hear that you get so sick or the stuff happened to you. I mean, our first world problems out here are shitty. That's the other thing I forgot to mention is that the lights in my room went out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so like now I have to take one of my sister's lamps since she's like away, like out on a call in Michigan or wherever. And that's all I have in my room right now. And I know I didn't just blow like the fuse in my light fixture and everything because the fan still works, but all the lights don't. So we replaced the bulbs, nothing, and the electrician can't come till Monday. So I have to spend the whole weekend in my fucking, my room in the dark because I'm not working because of my fucking pink eye. So now I'm like spending the time in here in like the fucking dark. I mean, I'm sitting here on my computer. So it's not like all the technology in my room doesn't work. I just tried to turn on the lights one morning and I heard like, and they all just went out. And I'm like, what the fuck? It just exploded above my head, man. It was weird. I'm like, whoever wired that shit did a horrible job because I used to have problems with it before, but whatever.
I still think like, because I still remember, David, remember when we were doing we were recording our Let's Plays one time?
Yes.
And literally your lights, everything in your room just basically just died. Like the breakers just went off and everything just turned off. And I just thought in my head, and now you just even mentioned this whole thing with your bulbs. I'm like, it's either just David's room or maybe his entire house is just wired really shittily. Like whoever the fuck the contractor, who the electrician was that basically wired that whole house, clearly he was jerking himself off as he was wiring that whole place and just not paying attention to what he was doing, because I have never seen someone's room in this 21st century ever literally just completely just go dark like that in my entire life.
He was jerking off on some other things, my friend, because my parents expanded the house 11 years ago and my room was part of the new expansion. And there was a lot of things, not even just with my room, but with the new expansion that they liked, and a lot of stuff that they felt was just done very shittily. And I feel like, maybe the wiring and my light fixture was definitely one of them. The reason that happened, Dennis, is because it was haunted. You remember, we were playing Luigi's Mansion.
That is true.
We were playing Luigi's Mansion when the shit went out.
This is true.
No, what actually happened is that my computer couldn't handle it. My PC was pretty old at the time. I had an AMD up in there. That shit was running. An old AMD in there. That shit was running really hot. And I just ran too much to it because we had been recording like all night or whatever. And then it just happened. That eventually, like with my PC before I got my new one, is that eventually if I kept it too long or if I tried to render videos, it would just shut down. It couldn't handle it anymore. Like the rig was just old. I built it back in like 2014. So I'm like, all right, you know what? It's time. Now I have this fucking behemoth over here by the right, which I'm actually getting a new keyboard and mouse for soon. Can't wait for that. It's gonna look all nice and pretty. But yeah,
throw a tweet up with that.
That was when me and Dennis did some old Let's Plays back in the day on the Nintoonist channel. And
now we're doing podcasts, which is kind of the same thing, but just with no gameplay.
Who fucking likes video games anyway? Am I right? Am I right?
Can I ask you something? Because I was talking about this with my brother. And it has to do with Let's Plays.
Yes.
Do you think that whole genre is dying now? Like, or it's been dead?
I haven't watched Game Grumps in God knows how long myself.
Even just minus
people
them,
still
though,
do is the thing. So maybe the ones that have like dedicated fan bases, yes. Can a new Let's Play channel come out of the woodwork?
No. I don't think so.
I mean, even Arlo gave up on his Let's Play channel. You ever heard of Arlo? He's like this little blue Muppet. He's like a little blue Muppet, makes like, gaming discussion videos and whatnot, mostly for Nintendo stuff, but for all sorts of things. His channel really first blew up because he made the Problem with Paper Mario video way back in the day, but like when Color Splash got announced. And he made those kind of videos before, and he used to have a second Let's Play channel. He has not done anything with that shit in like, actually, I'm even gonna look it up right now. I'm even going to look that shit up right now because he had a Let's Play.
When's the last time you checked?
I'm gonna check right now because he had a Let's Play channel and he hasn't done anything with it in a long time.
Oh, so you haven't checked in forever?
Arlo has like fucking.
Like David, you haven't checked in forever? Is like what you're telling me?
Yeah. Yeah, the last time he uploaded, episode 14 of Mario Odyssey 1 year ago. That's the last time he uploaded anything. And Arlo, on his main channel as a YouTuber, let me just take a little count right here. 574,000 subscribers. So he's a big YouTuber.
Get the fuck out of here.
Like he is a big YouTuber, but his Let's Play channel just didn't get enough views for him to consider doing it. So, part of me thinks that there are just some YouTubers that just sort of have that niche on lockdown. It's part of the reason that I stopped doing it. Not even just because I didn't have as easy access to Dennis as I do now. It's like one of my resources. And
he's a very valuable resource.
One of my units.
Suck my unit.
Like one of my he's like part of my RTS, bro, like my base. Like in my defenses. Alright, so I'm going to put a Dennis over here, and I'm going to need 3 Dennises by that gate over there in case they try to break that down.
As a strategy, like, gamer, I really hate every single fucking thing you just said right now. And it makes me cringe eternally. And I'm like, is this how people view like, strategy gamers? It's like, oh yeah, I gotta put down the base. I get 2 units, get some more resources. Get the catapults, set up the walls.
Shut up.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's all. I don't even have anything clever to say to that. Just shut up. Shut up, Dennis.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I listened to that in the car today. I just had the strangest impulse to listen to that song. It's so chill, like driving in the beautiful weather, like having my windows down.
Yeah, because it's meta.
Shut the fuck up.
It's like something that you'd wish you could say to like
You're
4 out of 10 people that you know. Yeah, that, exactly.
Shut the fuck up.
Like, don't you want to say that to your boss sometimes?
You're a stupid suck my dick.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I love my boss. They're great. Definitely don't want to say it to them, but I can think of a couple of people.
Stereotypically, though?
Yeah, no, of course.
Most people don't like their bosses.
Yeah, no, of course. But, yeah, Arlo. Big YouTuber, gave up on that. I mean, same thing for me. When I loved doing Let's Plays, but they were as hard as me and Dennis worked on those were the least few things, like, on my channel, man. Mm-hmm. And, I think some of those even have less views than the podcast does now, which is kind of crazy to think of it in that front. It's because there's just such an oversaturation of that, and I don't know how to break through in that regard. Like, it's part of the reason that I want to get a job where it's not going to matter how many social media followings I have. That's part of the reason that, like, besides the fact that it's not where the money is at, that Smash commentary is something that I do mostly just for fun as like a hobby, because the job is a clout chase. And I don't know how to do that. Like, when a job boils down to basically if you tweet good and then the job itself is sort of becomes like the secondary part, it's like, I hate this. You know what I mean? And so it's sort of what like YouTubing, or at the very least doing Let's Plays, was for me. Like, I even tried to get back into it last year, you know, like when I was, I had what I thought was a pretty unique idea for a Smash series, and I literally told, like, my audience, if it doesn't do well, like, if this video doesn't, like, get, like, at least 1K views, which a lot of my older videos did, then I wasn't gonna bother doing it, and it didn't to this day, so I'm like, alright, this was a waste of time. Like, I'm not gonna... If you really... And so you might think, why do I do, like, a podcast? It's because this is not only easier, but it's funner and is an outlet where I feel like I can better express myself. You know, I've gone on that whole shtick about, like, why I do this podcast before, so that's not the drill, but... To answer your question in that very long way, Dennis, yeah, I don't know how much of a place there is for, you know, Let's Plays in this market besides the really established ones that already exist. Game Grumps has joked that, like, hey, we are the home of the Let's Play. You remember that, like, fucking, that VHS tape that I showed you? That
wasn't exactly wrong either.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I know it was meant ironically, but it's, like, really, does anyone else know right now, like, a great... Let's Player YouTuber? I can't even fucking think of one.
The real popular ones nowadays are the ones who make like those bigger production, like discussion videos, like your Pro Jared, the completionist,
or Angry Joe
Massacre, the angry video game nerds. He's still making videos to this day. Doug Walker, I think not the CinemaSins guy, but him too. But like, why can't I think of his name? Cinemassacre. Hold on. No, that's also the
Angry Video Game Nerd. Yeah.
No, that is also the Angry Video Game Nerd. I'm thinking of the guy with like the goatee, that bald dude with the goatee. His name is blanking on me for some reason.
Bald dude with a goatee.
The movie critic. Nostalgia Critic. That's the guy.
Yeah,
I don't know why I could not think of his name for as long as I did. It's the people who make like gaming videos in that format where they like, you know, juxtapose like the footage, you know, like over over like the game, like half of it is like when they're like the parts where they did the live commentary to get the footage, half of it is when they're discussing different parts about the games. And like your JonTrons was one of the original people that did that, but there are a lot of JonTrons now, and those videos are all pretty popular.
And JonTron doesn't even do games anymore. He literally just reviews and makes a video about anything, really, from movies to games. So it's like he's not even constrained on that alone.
Yeah,
like,
Peanut Butter Gamer, Alpharad. It's the ones who make like those bigger budget videos now. Those are what does well. Those guys sometimes have like secondary Let's Play channels. They don't get as much views, but sometimes they get enough to the point where they can justify continuing to do it. But then they end and they make a whole video announcing like, this is the end of an era for this and whatnot. It's because none of them are just gonna fucking compete with Game Grumps, man. They're just not. Like, Game Grumps, like... You know, they were not the first ones to do Let's Plays, but they were one of the earlier ones, and they definitely took that shit by the balls. Like I said, they joked about it before with, like, that VHS tape.
They're also not really
You want to know what we
either.
do to make Game Grumps videos? Here's the fucking Grump room. Shit, fuck, holy shit, Jesus, fuck, Jesus Christ. Like, and Aaron's just, like, going ham on the fucking camera. Here's a motherfucking, like, Sandhauser. They make movies with this shit. I think that video's still pretty fucking funny to this day. Like, he's running to the Grump room, he's just like...
He's overly dramatic, like... It's, like, way too, like, enthusiastic. It's like how Aaron probably is, like, on a...
Pretty probably, yeah.
Any questions? Like that.
Comment! Like the video? Comment! Comments? Comment! I don't care! Oh, like, don't get me wrong. Like, they've joked about it before... But now they basically are, like, the home of the Let's Play, man. I mean, like, you remember, like, me and Dennis, we were huge fans of Game Grumps, and we did our Let's Plays, I should say, in the style of Game Grumps. And the fact
it
of
was
the matter
inspired
is,
by them.
Exactly. It completely was. And as the fact of the matter is, if you're not doing anything different, people aren't going to give your shit a chance. You know, you gotta, like, at least, like, do something different. Which is why the only videos that were successful on my channel... besides the memes, were like or by successful I mean like got like tens of thousands of views, were my Smash top 10s, because literally nobody else was making Smash Brothers top 10s catered to the competitive Smash Brothers scene audience. You would just have like shitty like channels like Watch Mojo be like, all right, top 10 Super Smash Brothers moves, number 1, Falcon Punch. Like, you know, like the shitty, never did any research, casual stuff, which is fine. But like for me, like I catered it to the competitive audience, which that didn't exist yet. I got tired of making those, so I stopped. But that's why those got a lot of views. So you gotta have something that makes you unique. This is all from some of this advice is from Breno. Yeah, gotta stand out. Some of this advice is from Breno Floss. He said this. Who else was adding lyrics to video game music? And like making original compositions for them at the time.
Not really anybody.
Not really anybody at the time, and that's how my man Breno Floss blew up.
I only know.
I would love to meet him, by the way. Honest to God.
I would too, and I'm even gonna go off and say like I only known 2 songs from his, and it was still, I wouldn't say iconic, but it was catchy enough that like I still remember it. Yeah. Like especially I believe it was him that did this one, the Dr. Mario.
The Dr. Mario. Yeah. Dr. Mario with lyrics was fantastic. That was like one of the first ones that he ever had animated.
Oh, okay. All right,
I am Dr. Mario, and I am saving lives. I look different in this game. I lost the head, got a code, Dr. Code, Stethoscope. In the Mushroom Kingdom, I'm the finest dog by far. I got my degree by watching House and Scrubs and ER. God, like the man's a genius.
No, yeah, like there's no denying that. And then I guess my last question, just because like I don't want us to go another like 2 hours.
Yeah, no worries. This will be our last topic. No worries. Hour and a half is what we used to aim for before me and Dennis started being stupid and, you know, grabbing ski by schnockles.
And making like a feature-length movie podcast like over here.
I've heard of the Double D cinematic universe, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah, this is the extended edition.
It's like that movie was already 3 hours. God, why is there a director's cut?
Oh, God, like I still hate movies that even just go past the 2-hour mark. Like I don't know, you gotta be engaging me like every 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, it's hard, man, for a movie to do that because movies have to hit like all these different plot points. One scene connects to the other.
Yeah.
TV shows you can commit as little as you'd like.
Yeah, basically.
And you're watching more content, but you can commit as little as you'd like, even though like you're watching more hours of content at a time. It's funny how that's the case. But your question, we were talking about Breno Floss.
Would you say that now playing games on streams have taken over Let's Plays?
Yes.
Like that's the new like modus operandi for a lot of people.
Yes. Okay. Yes, and do you know why?
There's no editing involved.
Or very minimal editing. It's because they're Let's Plays now. People still post Let's Plays, but it just makes more sense for them to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and play the whole game live on stream and then just chop that up into different parts and then put that onto the YouTube. Why you know, do what we did and, you know, like make like separate episodes like over and over and over again, render all those different episodes and then just have it be this long thing. Back then, Dennis, believe it or not, the only reason that they did that, right, is because YouTube used to have a time limit on videos. They had to be like 15 minutes or less. So they had to chop up their videos in Let's Plays, and thus the format was born, and people got used to the format and did that. And I still liked that format. That's still my favorite format, and I like that the Game Grumps do that. Nowadays, they make videos that sort of like appeal to their base already. You know, the ones who are already watching the Twitch channel and their YouTube channel. So they're like, hey, now that we can make videos this much longer, we don't have to worry about their attention span because the guys that really like us will watch it anyway, you know? Yeah. And people don't care about that length anymore. Like, they'll still watch it. So they'll drop, like, 45 minutes or even, like, 2-hour long episodes at most of, like, their Let's Plays. That's even what Markiplier does nowadays. Markiplier's videos, he's got so many subs, he can do whatever the fuck he wants now. And sometimes, often, he does. But his Let's Play videos now, they're fucking long. They are long, dude. And as somebody who doesn't, not a diehard Markiplier fan, I don't want to watch those. But he has his base already, so he can afford to do that. Same sort of thing with the Game Grumps. So
and PewDiePie.
And like, PewDiePie.
Like, I don't know. I've seen a lot of like Felix's. I've seen a lot of Felix's like newer stuff, and it has almost nothing to do with games. He just talks about anything he wants, and then he just gets
like we're tight like that.
I mean, because like I called him PewDiePie. When
I'm
I was
kidding.
A kid,
I'm teasing you. Shut the
fuck
up.
I mean, I don't know. Markiplier is like, because it's still got his name in it, so it's like, you know, it still sounds okay to say his name. But PewDiePie's got Felix nowhere in it, like at all. So it's like I just call him Felix. But I also actually like I have this weird like love for the name Felix. I don't know why. I always just thought like it sounded like a cool name.
It's a cool name.
But I always remember like I always bring it up with my girlfriend. Like, I'm gonna name our dog Felix, and it's like, no, Felix is an old man's name because it's like, in like, especially in like Latin America and in like even in like, especially, I heard it being used a bit like in Mexico, and like Felix is like usually like a name attached to like a really old motherfucker. Felix Navidad.
Felix Navidad.
But yeah,
it's Aladdin, motherfucker.
Like, I'd even agree that, yeah, like streaming itself is just like this. I don't want to say like, I know, yeah, I don't want to say it's like completely effortless because like, you know, you still gotta buy all this shit to get your streaming setup like, you know, up and working. Like,
and also be entertaining.
Yeah, like you need a decent graphics card, you need decent lighting, and you need to actually have a decent personality. So like,
and then a shit personality when you inevitably get canceled.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes those shit guys like still get like mad views, concurrent views. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like the very fact that Logan Paul like they still has got like plenty of followers and shit, even though like we all know like him and his brother like have
Logan
done a lot
Paul
of like.
Is living proof that like if you know how to play the YouTube algorithm, your content can be the most bottom tier, shit tier, fucking absolute garbage,
yes,
and you will get popular.
Mm-hmm. I will agree with all of that, but I have to also say though, the guy running his brand, I think he's not a genius, but he's actually really smart though. I'll give him that much, if anything.
Yeah, like, behind every successful idiot like that is a smart manager.
But I think it still counts for something, though. I don't think it should be discounted. Like, because it's even... a lot of his, like, stuff even goes beyond just his YouTube shit. Like, he knows how to run himself as a personality and as well as, like, obviously, like, as a social media presence. Like, the guy's even calling out boxers. Legit boxers that he wants to fight in the ring.
Yeah.
Like, this guy knows how to work the game. He probably knows how to work it than a lot more than others, really. But that's the thing, though. Like, his whole shtick is that, you know, I'm going to go for something that's going to be, like, getting a lot of people's attention. And he does it in a way where I think the money, because he comes from money. Like, the guy is rich, and his family is, like, pretty well off. And I feel as if, like, you know, that's the only reason why that, like, he can go and sort of even interact with a lot of these like big names, like even Conor McGregor. Like everyone knows who Conor McGregor is. Like he was like saying like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna fight you," like on social media, and obviously that's gonna generate a lot of buzz. I'm not saying like he's not a shit human being. He is a pretty shitty human being, but I think though, credit where credit's due. Like he knows how to run himself as a personality online.
Yeah, sometimes you know, having those like, you know, personality disorders and, you know, like having to pretty much needing the attention of a bunch of like young people to feel validated in your life is important, or just taking advantage of money, whatever. But YouTube, we were talking about like, you know, like let Twitch, how like Twitch is sort of becoming the environment of the Let's Play. Were you? You were still talking about Logan Paul. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I made my point with it already, because I genuinely feel like, as far as like at least YouTube and streaming, the people who at least were big for us in the Let's Play community primarily don't even do Let's Plays anymore, because that's not where the money is nowadays. And for a lot of like, I guess the veterans like PewDiePie and even Markiplier, like they don't even have to do Let's Plays. They can do whatever the fuck they want, and they will get their money. Like it, because I mean, PewDiePie, like, he is so big now that his like loyal following at least is so fucking huge that this guy could make a YouTube video of him pissing if he wanted to.
110 million subs. Wow.
And there would still be million views on that video easily. He knows he can do whatever he wants.
Probably
he knows
like the first like 15 minutes of it even being uploaded.
Easy.
Yeah. So why bother, you know, with that? I guess, you know, I mean, like,
yeah. And oh, wait, I was just gonna say, like, I'm not here like thinking like, oh yeah, I wanted to do a Let's Play channel or whatever. Right. But it's just, I always just found it so interesting because like that shift almost happened so silently. You know?
Yeah.
Like this is like kind of a bit of like an era shift in YouTube, because back in the day, like a lot of people really weren't watching. Like maybe it was just in my world, but like Let's Play seemed to be like the one thing that almost everyone kind of knew YouTube for. A lot of the bigger YouTubers that we know were Let's Players. Fuck Jenna Marbles and all those guys. Like literally PewDiePie was the biggest YouTuber at one point. And now it's like almost fuck YouTube. I'm going to Twitch to see people play games. Because nobody's even doing it on there anymore on YouTube. Like no one's actually playing like Let's Plays.
Yeah, but part of me kind of blames Twitch for that. Definitely changed the format of just like sitting there and watching them elongatedly instead of like waiting like every day, like 15-minute video, new day, 15-minute video, blah blah blah. It's like the Game Grumps kind of own that format now because they still kind of do that shit.
Almost monopolized it to an extent.
Exactly. So all the other YouTubers, like, why waste time trying to garner an audience on a secondary channel in the first place, or even just bother like sticking to that format when you don't have to anymore? And if people want that format, they'll go watch Game Grumps. At that point, just stream and then like chop that up and then post it on your channel in longer videos, which will not only cater to your base, but will also kill two birds with one stone. Oh, you're streaming, so now you got like your stream game going on. You got Twitch or YouTube if you stream on YouTube instead. And now like you're catering to the people who only watch your YouTube videos. Like me personally, like I usually just watch like Mango's like YouTube videos. He's been working on the YouTube a lot more, him or his manager and him and or whoever. And I don't often watch the guy live. They know that. So they like make those highlights to do that kind of stuff. And then yeah, that's how these things goes. It's like usually the VODs are always wind up getting more views. Like I was on a stream recently, like oh yeah, that was the other thing that happened to me in the last 24 hours. I got to cast a tournament with Deez. He's one of the top ultimate players in the world. I got to commentate a tournament with him, and I got to really work with him for the first time. He was really cool. We had a great time.
Did you suck his dick?
No, I didn't do that. Why? Why would I suck Deez's dick? Why does it always go to like phallic with you?
David,
something you're trying to tell me?
There is no greater showing of gratitude than sucking a man's cock.
In a hetero way, yeah, like a prison way, that is kind of badass. I will admit that. It's just like, dude, like, this woman's so tough, she's not allowed to be a lesbian. Like, yeah, like that kind of stuff. Like, I get that.
She's not allowed to be a lesbian.
She's not even allowed.
You're gonna love dick and
Gary! You are gonna eat this dick, and you are gonna like it! But anyway, yeah, they kill two birds with one stone that way. They realize Game Grumps and those kind of channels own the format. It's not going to be harder to grow your channel in that way. They're not confined to it by YouTube anymore. So it just makes sense. That really is what most of them do. They post those highlights. Same thing with, Nairo never posted those on YouTube when he did his Paper Mario Let's Plays, but Nairo's Super Paper Mario Let's Play is one of the funniest fucking Let's Plays I've ever watched in my life. It was like a solo Let's Play too, so like I was really impressed by the fact that he was able to make me laugh as often as he did, even though he's kind of a shy guy in real life when you actually like met him, or for people he doesn't know. But yeah, that's pretty much. It's like the environment has changed. It's sort of like I would say like how like old TV. People say like, oh, television is dying. It's like, no, television is stronger than it's ever been. We just watch it in a completely different way now. We're in the second golden age of television, where now there are all these exclusives on all these different kinds of platforms that basically Netflix created, and now they realize they can't go back to that because there are all these different fucking channels that do what they did, but sometimes better, which is why we gotta make video games. That's literally how that happened. So same thing in that regard, where it's like Let's Plays aren't dead. They haven't died. The old way we used to watch them died. That is my answer to that question. Unless you're Game Grumps, like I said. Or Oni Plays. Oni Plays is like one of the only like channels that set out and be like, okay, we're going to do exactly what the Game Grumps did. But we're going to be successful. And they were. Like that, they're the only people.
Their fans are also completely different from Game Grumps too, because like Game Grumps is fairly a PC crowd, and Oni just says whatever the fuck he wants, and he doesn't care of the consequences.
So if we were to make a Let's Play channel, ours is We Are Oni Plays.
Yes, like I would want to say the N-word multiple times in each episode.
Right.
Because we got to generate that views. We got to get.
Oh
we
yeah,
gotta get the traction.
That helps. Well, any publicity is good publicity. You know the drill.
It's like Super Mario 64, and then episode name. The N-word.
God.
So it's like 69.
My dick gets bigger, 'cause I'm a crazy. I love that video.
Anyways,
keep bursting
guys.
in the room. Yes, anyways.
Like, case in point. We're gonna wrap it up today, just because like I don't want this to run for another 2 hours. Although, again, for those other 2 episodes that we did, that we recorded, I would say that there were 2 hours because we had a lot of passion behind some of the topics that we were talking about. At least for those episodes. I mean, I'm not gonna say that we're not gonna be doing 2 hour episodes again. I'm just saying though, like, you know, 2 hours is not exactly the most digestible number when it comes to a lot of things on YouTube.
I just realized I forgot to post the episode 29 on I was like looking at episode 29 and it didn't have as many views as they normally would, and I just remembered I didn't post it on my Twitter. I'm fucking stupid. It's been a stressful couple of days, guys. In case I didn't make that clear from the stories that I told. But yes, we're trying to tone it down a little bit. So me and Dennis will shut up now. Dennis, you know the drill. There's a little plug on screen. Where can they follow us?
Guys, you can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Twitter. I hate both of those platforms, but we are poised to use it anyways. We are also on Spotify and all the other podcast platforms you'll see in our description, including Apple. And yeah, that's it. I blanked. I don't know why I blanked out for the rest of. I've been saying this for fucking weeks, and I still blank out after Apple Podcasts. I know after Apple Podcasts, it's just like I don't. I always try my best not to go like that's because what I learned in public speaking. So I just go in my head, and I'm like. And yeah, that's it.
Which, by the way, we still got to record the Anchor ad.
Oh my god.
Only reason I haven't done that is because you said you wanted to do it.
Could we perhaps
we could do it together?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's kind of gay, but like, I mean,
maybe we could draw up a script that's a bit.
Oh god,
hetero.
it's like one of those fucking like like stupid like little voicemails. Where they
like,
sing on
Hi,
it.
this is da 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 da. Leave the message
You've
after
reached
the
the house of David and Dennis. Like we're taking like turns.
Oh,
like one of those.
Like those real preppy gay couple like across the street in the suburb.
Or like those 2 white girls live together in Manhattan. Fucking Rachel and Phoebe, all up in there.
Rachel. I was like,
no, Dennis, I don't know what I think about gay guys because we just said we were gonna rap.
Okay.
So how about you shut the fuck up?
We will save that question for another episode.
Being a fucking.
All right, David. Damn. All the hatred today.
I'm a hateful man.
David, you're Cuban. It's like
just like the Scot at the beginning.
50% of you is probably hateful.
Shut up. Lights off.
Mwah.
Mwah.
No, I fucking kiss. Don't kiss.
I'll kiss the audience harder. I love them more.
This is my podcast too, okay?
I'll kiss the audience harder, Dennis. I love them more.
David, I will literally fuck you on this desk.
Well, for that, if you're gonna Dennis, if you're gonna fuck me on the desk, then it would be better to do it with the lights off.
No. I think we should turn the lights back on again. And then
come
I slap
on.
You, and then I slap you, and I continue to fuck you, and then you turn off the lights.
136. We got 136.
Lights off, guys.
We're done, folks. Lights off. Thanks for watching.
Fuck you.